Joe Ribble. He is going to talk about helping conscious entrepreneurs in times of crisis. So we are actually excited to have him, and he has been helping people the last 21 years, over 1,500 CEOs in 33 different countries to accelerate the growth of their businesses, bridge the gap globally, and expansion and different businesses each other. So he is a TV host, a public speaker, consultant, board member, the LinkedIn strategist, influencer, philanthropist. He's actually based in Texas. So in 2017, launched an international foundation. So the foundation is helping the Wisdom for Kids to help over 1,000 underprivileged kids in Latin America become entrepreneurs. So we're having him here right now. So I am going to do an invitation to here to speak with you. So this is Master Teresa. This is the Teresa's Wellbeing event, and your phone has to go the other way, my dear.
Oh,
so
the other way? Okay.
Turn the other way. I know sometimes it is confusing, right?
Let me see what I can do. Okay.
Yeah, there's no other way, but this is the Instagram way, right? How it is different. So, okay, awesome.
No problem. Okay.
Yeah, awesome. So how's the weather?
Good. The weather is good. I haven't been outside today, but apparently that the weather is good. And obviously, thank you very much for having me, Teresa. It's a pleasure to be here. And thank you everybody who's watching us today.
Yes. Your voice is a little bit not very loud.
My voice is not very loud? Okay.
Now it's a little bit better. Now it's better. Okay, now it's
maybe I can get closer to the microphone. It's gonna get better.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be okay a bit softer. The internet takes time too, right?
Angel, there's so many people out there that they can do this so much better than me. So many people that they can do so much better than me, and I always tell them the same thing. It doesn't matter how good I get on what I do. There's always going to be people that are going to resonate out there with someone else that does the same thing as me, as what we do. So what I'm trying to say is that there's out there people that always are going to resonate with you and with what you do. Exactly, regardless.
This is what I teach people too.
Oh,
I train teachers to teach Qigong and train healers. Then I tell them they don't want me to be their teacher. They don't want me to help them. They're actually waiting for you to be ready. You have to do it.
Exactly. So if you think that there's so much competition out there, you are, let me tell you, let me look at your eyes, okay? I have a big eyes too. So you are wrong.
Yes.
Your passion and your expertise combined, your passion and your expertise combined can make you a living and a good living moving forward. The only difference between the ones that really make it happen and they are able to go from where they are today to a place where they can really make a living and live 24/7 out of their passion and their expertise is that the successful ones take action. That's my main mantra, is take action now. You know, you were very kind. Exactly. You were very kind, before in the introduction that you said that you explained to everybody that I had helped more than 1,500 CEOs in so many countries. But, regardless of that, the only thing that really counts is that I'm able to establish a relationship, a personal relationship with you who are watching me, and you really think that I can help you. It doesn't matter. I mean, and the copywriting and my marketing, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's only if I'm able to connect with you at the human level that I will be able to help you. And it's the same thing with you. It's the exact same thing with you. There's always people that only you can help out there. And you already have a passion. You already know what you like. You already know what you like. You already know what you really like to do and when you're thriving doing something. And then if you're not sure what your expertise is, let me tell you just a piece of advice. If you're not sure of what your expertise is, just go and ask one of your friends, someone that really knows you, and ask that person,
Yes.
you know, what would you say I am an expert on? And they're going to tell you right away, because it's funny how we tend not to see our own belly button,
Oh,
you know?
so that's good advice. That's very good advice to encourage the people listening. And you know, on my Instagram, we have a lot of people younger, 20s, 30s. So they are just still exactly don't know where to go. So the tips today is ask your friends about what do they think of you, what you are special in, and then start thinking from there. That's so beautiful. I also know that you help young people in the underdeveloped country to start business. This is so awesome. We
Thank
actually
you.
have someone here. She is the founder of the Kids Canada, a nonprofit organization with Uganda. And then all the people there probably can really listen to your idea about, wow,
Awesome.
what are you doing about the kids?
Yeah, absolutely. So I was living in Latin America for many years, for 10 years, and I
Yes,
conducted business there for almost 15 years. By the way,
yes.
I want to say hello to Shauna, who's here. Nice to see you. And
Hi,
so,
John.
yeah, so
Peppermint,
yeah,
and say hi to
we have a few friends here.
Evander, Sunshine.
Exactly.
You know, we should say hi. I just, yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so I was working and literally living in Latin America for so many years that at some point, I mean, I was all the time seeing poverty everywhere I went, everywhere I went. And you know,
Oh,
for a living, my business at that point, I was actually working for a large corporation or different
yes,
large corporations. And every
yes,
time I was going to serve my clients, every single time I would meet with those kids in need, every single time, because they're all over the place. Just think about this number. In 2012, according to UNICEF, there were 81 million kids in Latin America living in poverty.
yes,
81. Of these
yes,
81, 22 million did not have drinking water at home. So just
yes,
picture this, okay? So I don't know where in Canada or in the world you live. Just think about the number: 22 million without water, 81 million,
yes,
81 million living in poverty. So at some
yes.
point I had to do something. So I launched, you know, along with a friend of mine and his father, the three
Mhm.
co-founders, we launched Wisdom for Kids, and that was in
Yeah.
2017. And
Wow, that's
yeah,
nice.
exactly. And we help underprivileged kids in Latin America become
Yeah, that's
entrepreneurs
so
using the
beautiful.
local resources.
Awesome. I know. Really good. So how did you help them, right? What exactly the steps you were
Yeah,
doing?
yeah. So the first
Because
thing,
you don't live there, so how do you long distance do things, you
thank you.
know?
Great question, because obviously that has posed also challenges for us, you know, giving or knowing what's going on in the world, right? But basically
Mm,
what we do is very simple. We first of all, we identify communities in which we want to go. Okay, we really like to go to indigenous communities because the level of poverty in the indigenous communities is the largest.
mm,
There's 95% of the population in the indigenous communities lives under the threshold of poverty.
mm,
95%. So that's why we like to go, because we know that the impact, you know, increases dramatically, and it's the best return on investment on our time, right? So we
mm.
identify those communities, and then we reach out to those communities. We see, okay, who do we know that lives in that community or nearby, or who could connect us to that community? And that's the
Yeah,
next step. So then we reach out to that person or this group of people, and we tell them, yeah, we would like to do this. And the
yes.
first thing that they all respond, all of them, they always say, how much is it? How
Uh,
much is it going to cost us for you
yes.
to come here and to teach our kids how to become entrepreneurs? And obviously we always say it's for free, and they cannot believe it. You know,
Oh, yeah.
sometimes we're blessed enough that there's some sort of formal education system in that
Yeah.
place where we go, and we try to piggyback a little bit on that system because it makes things a little bit easier, at least as far as the
Yeah.
facilities go, so we can use their facilities. And I
Uh-huh.
remember with there's, for instance, there's a small school in that area, let's say, right? And there's some
Oh,
kids going to that area. So when we talk to the principal, very often he says, but please don't tell anybody that you are coming, because
oh,
I really want to give this opportunity to my kids. And if there's any
oh,
politics involved, I don't
oh.
want to risk it. I don't want to get the risk I
Mm,
don't want to get the risk of having this option, this possibility, this opportunity that you're giving us. I don't want to get it canceled by someone for political reasons, right?
Yeah.
You know, which has not happened to us ever, but they still are concerned because they, you know, they live in the field, so they know exactly how things work.
Yeah,
right?
and there are a lot of corruptions. Yeah,
Whatever that is. So we basically, so when we get into an agreement, then we start studying. Okay, so if you have kids, what are the kids? Who we know? What's the you know, how many kids could we bring together? What ages? Let's put them in different age groups, right?
Oh, okay.
And then we try to basically organize a line of our resources in that area so that we can define what we call it's a mission. Okay, so we organize a mission to that particular place, and then a group of volunteers, whoever is close to that place, or if I can't do it, I try to do it myself, right? So I go to that place, and I basically we deliver our workshops, and that's the next step, right? So we go there and we deliver a basic workshop, okay? And it's
like a day or a few hours, or how?
So it's 2 hours. It's a 2-hour workshop.
Only.
And
Okay.
you're gonna like this, Master Teresa.
Okay.
You're gonna love this because it's nothing that you can imagine. Like when you think about someone teaching entrepreneurship, and you start thinking about, you know, this, like the companies formed by of this and that and that, and you have to come up with this and that. We don't use a whiteboard, Teresa. We don't use a whiteboard or a blackboard. No, it's all energy based. It's all energy based completely.
Okay.
So the main goal is to be the most impactful possible with those kids in those 2 hours of time. In these 2 hours of time, we jump, we dance, we tell stories, we do a lot of dancing, and we even do, I mean, we play games. We do all sorts of things that the kids love it. They love it. And we end our workshop actually with a meditation.
Oh, really?
With and actually it took to us a lot of time to prepare the meditation because we wanted to make sure that the meditation was really powerful.
Oh,
you know,
yes.
We use, you know, neuro-linguistic programming in order to make sure that all the different affirmations were really powerful enough, strong enough.
Yeah.
You know, so and so our workshop is really an experiential activity towards those kids, and the main goal for us is to change the kids' lives forever. It's to make sure that they have their first meditation experience ever.
Oh, okay.
That we are able to anchor that experience. We leave them with a booklet. We give them a booklet, literally. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So we make sure that we leave that booklet with them so that they can do something about it. So they can actually they can follow up and follow through the entire content of the workshop, right?
So
and
they can still do the things you taught them.
Totally.
Okay, that's good. Yes.
And the community leaders have all the information of where to find everything if they lost it and everything. We always keep local volunteers to every place we go. We always have local volunteers when we leave, all the time, no exception. And also this initial starting like workshop, what allows us to do is to have a clear understanding of what of those kids that we saw, who are the ones that might be better entrepreneurs.
Yes.
Because not everybody is ready to do it. And also, as you can imagine, when we go to poor communities, some kids have parents, others don't have parents. They have tutors, whoever that was. So it's very difficult for us to guess which parents are going to be supporting their kids, right? So this is very important for us.
Yeah, you have to figure out something out. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it's very important for us. So we make sure that, you know, our volunteers that they stay in the ground, they follow, you know, they follow up with their parents, and they really, you know, then there's a team that, you know, the parents, the kids, and our volunteers team up in the field in order to start making progress on those initiatives that they started, that you know, they start, you know, coming to the surface after this initial workshop.
Yes. So you, it's very interesting. So you keep on going back to the same kids every year. How do you follow up next year?
Yeah, that's a great question. It really depends. Obviously, we know that the challenge is huge, right? 81 million kids, so we would love to reach as many. So, and obviously also we are a little bit sad because what happens in the world, what has happened in the world for the last, few months, as you know, for the last year, 2 months. So we have had to literally stop our activities. There's a lot of volunteers.
Okay.
There's a lot of volunteers that are reporting to us from the field and saying, hey, we had to stop everything. We have not seen the kids personally in a year. So can you imagine the great, the degree of frustration for our volunteers that we cannot, literally, we have not been able to see our kids, let's say our kids, for over a year now. So it's really challenging, and so now we are thinking about what to do about it. Of course.
Yeah, they will not have internet because they don't have the resources, right? So get them on the telephone. They may not even can get to a telephone, right?
It's very difficult, very challenging. Again, and in the indigenous communities, as you can imagine, there's no power.
Together. Yeah.
Exactly, there's no power. I mean, they live in really bad conditions. I mean, they don't have the right, I mean, they don't have phone coverage most of the time. So again, it's remote areas. I mean, we go to a place. We go to a place where there are.
It is challenging. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it can be challenging. Exactly.
So even if you have a piece of paper, you've written down the instruction, you have to give it to them, but then you have to go and walk to them. They can't. There's a lot of people you have to even communicate to reach them, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but anyway, we keep on going. We keep on liking to go to the indigenous communities.
I said the universal.
Yeah, exactly. We keep on going to those indigenous communities because indigenous communities, as I said before, are 95% poor. They're people that live in that community, and there's no other. Literally, I mean, the rural areas, they only have like 75%. In Latin America, rural areas have like 75%, poverty rates. So that's why we like to go to indigenous communities, because even though they're typically more spread and more remote, it's also for us more, gratifying in the sense that, we really, I mean, those kids are so isolated, isolated. We know that what we do with them has never been done before, excuse me. And it's going to be very difficult to have someone else doing this, in that place. So, I mean, that's our mission. That's what we do at Wisdom for Kids.
Yeah, well, we just send blessings and send up and send prayers. Mm-hmm. So going back to the entrepreneurs, I guess the real work you're doing. So what's the next thing you want to do, right? Because So I talked before about two things, which I think last year, and it was very eye-opening for all of us to see how we could help entrepreneurs, right? Because everyone wants to thrive, and everybody wants to give back to the world, but also they want to make a living, because we are here to make a living, right? And we all want to achieve certain levels of wealth, right? So besides identifying what your passion is, and besides acknowledging what your expertise is through the help of others, there's two other legs about, pivoting in times of crisis or reinventing yourself. And again, we teach that all the time to hear the community of people here in Dallas. Mm-hmm. So the most important thing is, number one, do you think that there's a market need for this? So, and that's a very easy thing to do. We tend to think that it's complicated, but it's not complicated. It's easy. If you have the idea of something that you want, a product or a service that you want to provide the world, it's the number one thing that you should be doing is to start talking to people around you, potential clients, potential partners of yours, and ask them, hey, I would like to do this. What do you think? According to your experience, what do you think? That's the most important thing. I mean, I remember talking to something called the Business Accelerator, which are organizations that help accelerate the growth of their businesses, mostly with the startups. And there's many organizations in all over the world. I remember talking to them a few years ago, and they told me, Angel, in order to launch a startup that's going to disrupt an entire country or an entire industry, before we needed hundreds of thousands of dollars. Right now, people with only a handful of dollars, literally over a few thousands of dollars, people can really start disrupting an industry. What I'm trying to tell you, to everybody watching us today, Teresa, what I'm trying to say is that
the first thing and most important thing is start talking to your potential audience, to your potential clients, and ask them their opinion about what you want to do. Okay, again, last year, many entrepreneurs had to pivot. Many entrepreneurs had to change slightly what they were doing it, how they were doing it. Many of us, me included, right? So keep, yeah.
Yes.
So it is what, exactly. So, and the last thing, and the fourth thing I would like to share with everybody here that they should do, according to my opinion, to become successful entrepreneurs and my experience, is the fourth thing is like, is the market willing to pay for this? So when, so again, summarizing, your passion, your expertise, is there, getting market feedback early, and then is the market willing to pay for it? And that's really important. Is the market going to pay for it? Yes or no? So when you have these conversations with your potential future clients, just ask them, would you pay for this? And how much would you pay? I thought of maybe charging this for this service or for this product. Would you pay this amount of money for this product? And everybody is going to have a different answer. But again, I think that these are the 4 pillars of what I typically, when I have conversations with entrepreneurs, to help them pivot,
Yeah, thank you. That's wonderful. I always been an entrepreneur 26 years already. So I started things from scratch. So so you are so true and right about the passion and all of that, Is that something you like to do, right? Because I like to do it, so I started it from scratch.
Exactly. Exactly. And as you know, I'm also a pretty upbeat guy, right? So I'm all the time throwing energy out there, right? I mean,
amazing. Always energetically doing what you love. Right?
Exactly. That's who I am, right? So what a better way of doing that? And again, not everybody resonates with me, and not everybody can potentially be my client. And I get that. And it happens with you as well. But again, as I have so much, it's funny how, although I work with entrepreneurs, I work with corporate clients as well, and I work with children, underprivileged children. It's amazing how I get so many different points of view of the world at the same time, right? So I get all this feedback all the time, which allows me to be not only very grateful for what I have and very humble, right?
Yeah.
But also to be very accepting. So I think that one of the main things that kids, I mean, as you probably know, and most of your audience would agree with this, is that we know that our educational system should dramatically change. But, if as far as business goes, if I could just suggest one thing, I think that when we are children, when we are kids, and when we are in the school, we should be really taught on how to collaborate, okay? So there's always business for you. There is always going to be business and clients for you.
Exactly.
Always.
Always.
So
exactly.
So, exactly. So the people that don't get enough business is really, or because they don't try to learn enough.
It's going out, really. Going out, conquering, shy, and, it's about how to ask and talk, and that's something we never have learned to. I learned it through life. Always make you do things you
Exactly. It's simple, right? Because it's also simple for you and I to say it's simple, but it's not easy. And we acknowledge. We acknowledge that it's simple, but it's not easy.
Yes, it wasn't easy at all. When I started, I do weird things like breathing exercise to heal the body. I know it worked because it helped me. In 1 year, I conquered my cat's allergy in 1 year. Wow. And then when I started it to do it full time, I basically had to knock on doors, right? Knock on door one at a time. Find people, talk with them. It is like that. If something you believe you should have value to have people, you keep doing. It seems a bit embarrassing at the time, but you conquer that, do it too. So you can do it if you just, all the people can help you. It's all around your life already. Even like Angel, I said, gee, I better contact this guy, Angel. What's he up to?
Thank you. Obviously, thank you for doing that. And I was invited to actually a cold calling session.
Okay.
So just before our interview today, and it's funny how timing is always divine, right? Timing is
Oh,
always divine. And there's nothing more uncomfortable than knocking on doors. There's nothing more uncomfortable. Nothing more uncomfortable. And we understand that. But
yes,
in reality, the more you get comfortable with your uncomfortability,
yes.
the faster you're going to burn those stages to become more and more successful and have more and more clients. You know,
You
so
just have to, you do what needs to be done, and just do it, right? So it is a little bit challenging at the beginning,
absolutely.
but there's no road to return, because you have made your decision. You're not going to return. You go, right?
Yeah.
But it was. I find one thing just to share to the audience is, although you want to do something, you know it's your passion, you know it makes sense, you don't know how to do it. Sometimes we really need a teacher, a mentor, to support you on the side. I had one, which was my teacher, because he was so good. I think his work should go out. That's why I decided to, let's do that full time. And it's very difficult. I was a single mother at the time. So where are you going to get the money from if I do this full time, right? So it was like, it's a road of no return for me. I'm going to do this because it's mixed. So I like you to encourage people to talk about mentorship coaching, because they don't understand the value of having someone there for them. Instead, they're trying to figure out everything themselves, right?
Exactly. So bang on. It's like you have read my mind. When I started my webinars and I started teaching people about how to pivot in times of crisis, the first thing I talk about is the mistakes I made. Mistakes I made. So I became an entrepreneur myself in 2016. I had taught entrepreneurship before to many companies and many people, but I became myself an entrepreneur in 2006. And guess what? I still had to learn a lot of lessons, and I still made a lot of mistakes, okay? So let me tell you, if I had to say that one of the most important lessons and mistakes I made was not asking for help. Not asking for help. And that was a big, massive mistake. I did not ask for help. That's a mistake, because I could have literally ramped up my business much faster, okay? I know that when we are entrepreneurs, we're very sensitive about the money that we spend. I get it. I was there myself, okay? I get it. But at the same time, money is just energy, okay? That's how I see money myself. Money is energy. So if you are able to invest money so that you can actually get to where you need to be faster, and you can start generating revenue faster, then that's the most important thing that you have to do. Please look for help. Even if you have to invest money, look for mentors. Maybe mentors are not always available, but look for someone that, you know, little by little, you start building some trust relationship with that person that you think can help you. Because, you know, the most important, and again, I'm a very optimistic guy. You've probably seen that already. But let me tell you something.
We are by the same kind of people.
Exactly. But let me tell you something.
Yes.
The only scarce resource that we human beings have while we have this physical experience on Earth in this dimension, the only one is time. Okay, it's the only one. It's the only scarce resource that we have. You know, because so guess what? If you are able to get help from someone, and you already see that you're going to save so much time because of the knowledge, the experience, everything that you get from that person, please go ahead and do it. Go ahead and work with that person, because that time is lost unless you take it. Unless you take advantage of that time, unless you proactively ask for help and look for help. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you a secret. And I'm going to talk about astrology now, which is I've never done before in any interview.
I love astrology too.
I'm a Leo, right? I'm a Leo from
Leo, okay.
August.
I'm Virgo.
So I know everything. Blah blah blah. I mean, you name it. I'm obviously joking here, but you understand what I mean, right? I obviously believe that I am infinitely powerful, but I can do it by myself. I can do everything by myself. I've taught so many people, but guess what? That was a big mistake.
Yes.
I don't see my own belly button. I don't see my own belly button. So if I don't say it, it means that I'm going to make the same mistakes I made, or the same mistakes that most of the entrepreneurs made before. So I wish I had asked for help sooner, so I would have ramped up my business much faster, because I would have learned many more lessons learning from other people. Really, I wish I had done that, and unfortunately I didn't. So I really encourage everybody to look for someone that can help them to get to a revenue place, a place of generating revenue as soon as possible, because time never goes back, and money, you know. And guess what? Let me also, I mean, I love your audience, and I really love that you were kind enough to invite me very humbly to your show, because, I mean, you have a heck of a, I mean, you really have a great audience that understands the terms in which we're having this conversation. Hey, there's always something or someone that has our back. Always. 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 So, you know, 99.9999% of our concerns, worrisome, everything never happens. So we're just entrenched. Exactly. So why are we wasting so much time in our lives concerned or worrying about something that's never going to happen? We always end up thriving. Always. Always. 100% of the time we end up thriving. Always. So we are still human beings, and we have this crazy thing called survival mode, right? This crazy thing called survival mode.
They need someone to motivate them, encourage them. It's like sort of holding their hand, do it. That's all. That's why someone there, you have to follow someone. If you want to go someone, you have to pick someone to follow. Because people follow me for health, they follow me for a reason, and then they follow the teacher for business. You have to find someone to follow if you want to build business, right?
Absolutely.
You have to follow something because they have the energy created already for the success you're looking for. So there's something they have you don't have. So you have to appreciate that.
Be humble enough to acknowledge that there's people out there that know much more than you. Exactly.
I think people are very humble now. They're just still looking for who's the person I want to follow, right? So they are searching, not sure.
But I mean, regardless of how, let's say, in any term, regardless of how successful you are, Teresa, how successful I am.
We're not successful. We're just people.
No, but the point I'm trying to make is that if someone comes to us very humbly and says, hey, I would like to have your help, but I'm not fully convinced, what are you going to do? I mean, you are going to start a conversation, and you're going to try to help that person, right? From the place of doubt that person is, into a place of where that person can see the value that you can provide to their lives, right? So again, everything is possible. All the options are open. All the options are open. I remember, you know, one of the most humbling things about traveling internationally and doing business in more than 30 countries is that you are obliged to adapt to every single culture every single time you step out of the plane. Every single time. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know how these people behave. You don't know you don't know what these people like, value or not value.
Yes.
You don't know anything, but you still have to be there. How do you connect with people that you don't know? How do you close business with people that you don't know? My answer is from my heart. That's my answer.
That's what I'm going to say. You have to come from here.
Exactly. That's why.
You
exactly. So don't get entrenched, you know, in like old ideas or, you know, very, very narrow-minded or views of the world. Just talk to people, because we are all human beings.
Yes.
We are all human beings, and at the end of the day, we have a heart, and we have a God, and we have a family, and we love our family, we love our friends. We want to be good for the community. Go inside your heart and ask your heart, you know, if what you're saying is good for you or not, and keep going. That's why, again, my main advice is always take imperfect action now, but go into your heart to decide which action to take.
You're never perfect. You just have to do it or don't do it. Don't wait too long.
Exactly.
So we have one of my followers, Mei Lin. She is actually with the Kids Canada.
Awesome.
She has the Uganda kids. She's been trying to help them to make something out of their life. She's always follow me. So she is saying here, thanks so much for the generously sharing the important insights that you have, right?
Thank
and
you.
then she has her kids, right? And then it will be, to push their entrepreneurial dreams forward, right? I think
Absolutely.
it would be lovely she connect with you and see if your beautiful
Oh,
thing
absolutely.
want to go to Uganda to help those kids really poor, right?
And Teresa,
Yes,
everything is possible.
exactly. I know
Everything is
anything you have
possible.
to make one step, right? Every
So,
step is good. Yeah.
so exactly. So, you know, why not? Why
Yeah.
not? Last year in
Yes.
2020, it's funny, in January,
Yes.
every year I choose like a personal like sentence or motto, right? That I'm going to be reacting to throughout the year. In January 2020, I decided that my motto for 2020 was why not? And
That's good. I love it. Yes.
exactly. And in
Yeah.
2021,
Uh-huh.
my motto is be the solution. Be the
Okay.
solution. There's enough people out there trying to make us into problems, trying to make us see the world in terms of problems. Hey, guess what? I see the world in terms of solutions, not in terms of problems. You know,
Yeah.
and,
So
and
that's beautiful.
I encourage everyone to see the world in terms of solutions, because when you are finding solutions and working on solutions, you are
Yeah.
you are in creation mode, and you don't have time to hate anybody because you are creating.
Oh,
So I would love
yes.
to do. To your friend who's connected now. Let me tell her
Yeah.
something. I mean, I'm a member of the African Chamber of Commerce here in Dallas area. So I attend a lot of meetings with officials from governments from many different African countries. So, I mean, I've been asked many times by different countries to actually take my initiative, Wisdom for Kids, to their countries. And I know that this is eventually going to happen. So if we could do anything together with your friend, that would be a real blessing. Thank you for
Yeah.
suggesting.
She's really very heartfelt in everything she does. When the Uganda time is like
Thank you.
the daytime will be our sleeping time, so she will not sleep and then talk with them, right? So
Absolutely. I understand.
so you just have to do it with love, and
I
then
understand.
you have that love. I will just really amazed if something can happen for them. It'll be a
Absolutely.
good model for other people to follow, right?
Absolutely.
You are just amazing to think about this.
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
that was on to get
Yeah.
that done. So I
Yeah.
appreciate you coming here. So what is some other message that you'd like to share before we wrap up today?
You know, regardless of my bio, regardless of what I have done in the world, regardless of all of that, the most
Yes.
important thing for me is to be someone who does two things. Number one, connecting the unconnected. And I have to say that last year, a lot of people got their connections broken, and many of them broken forever. You know,
Yes.
and second, I consider myself to be the conduit of everybody else's greatness. I really mean it. So every single time I'm trying to help someone, every single time I'm helping someone, be a kid in need, be a corporate CEO, or be an entrepreneur, it doesn't matter. The most important thing is that my most important challenge is that I'm able to be myself, to be the conduit of their greatness. That's the most important thing. And I would encourage everybody listening to us today just to tap into their own source of genius. That it's there, that maybe it's a little bit asleep, it's not awakened yet a little bit, and you can do so much more, you know. So be on top of your game and just realize that you can do so much more right now with what you have to make this world a better place, and to have actually a more successful kind of life in terms of physical existence, right? So thank you for the opportunity. Really, I mean, Teresa, it's been a blessing to be here. I have enjoyed every single one of your questions, really.
Yeah, well, I really admire what you're doing. So that's wonderful. So thank you for coming here. So we'll close the session. Okay. So what you do is you will close the box, and then your window. You can close the window on the top, and the cross is close it. So I'll just wrap up for them.
Thank you very much, and again, thank you for having me here, and thank you
We'll
everybody.
have you here again.
Anytime.
We need to hear more of your inspiration. Yeah.
Anytime, and thank you everybody for being here with us today. It's been a blessing, really awesome. Teresa. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Okay, good. Bye. So wow, what a wonderful time we spent with Angel, right? His name is Angel. He is like an angel. So this is Master Teresa. The Well-Being Show is an initiative. I want to bring something to the audience on Instagram. Instead of just, put some quotes, can we have some real people coming in to say something that is impactful to people? And then energy is here. So we like to exchange our beautiful energy, the chi, with you. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And then look forward to having you. If you have something special to share to the audience here, we love to have you here too. And check out my classes. We have donation Qigong class, the breathing for relaxation, for your rejuvenation. For children can practice Qigong, elderly can practice Qigong. It brings you to a peace, so that you can use the peace to manifest the life you want. So once you're in the moving exercise, you actually will get out of the stress you have in your life. So I am also in my senior age now, in my 60s. So I wish you to tell the people you know, they can actually follow my YouTube. There are lots of YouTube videos, the Pure Land Qigong. Or join the Facebook. There's also Qi Bricks. You can learn Qigong there. And then, or just follow us on Instagram. That would be awesome too. So look forward to having another beautiful interview with another one. So thanks for joining me today. Okay. Bye for now, and wish you have a beautiful day.